capital territory, or do you need a medium?
The art is the expression of ideas and emotions put down in physical creative forms like paintings and so on and so forth. The art tells the story of a people, their history, their culture. And that's why we say art and culture. So today, on development pillars, we'll be looking at the role of the arts and culture, arts and crafts industry in promoting sustainable development in Nigeria. And the person that will be interacting with me on this edition, it's a man that is cut out for the job from his mother's womb. His name is Suleiman. He's an artist himself, a painter. He is the president of Society of Artists of
Nigerian Artists.
Society of Nigerian Artists. And he also has a gallery, art gallery, that is midwifing, one of the best in the country, I must say, Metrics. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Development Pillars, and join me to welcome our guest, Mr. Muhammad Suleiman. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. My pleasure to be here.
I know that for over 4 decades, or close to 4 decades, you have traversed the arts in Nigeria. Not as if you are Methuselah, but you started early, and you put your heart in the game, and you have done so much for the industry. Can you talk to us about, the arts and crafts, arts and culture industry in Nigeria, from your point of view?
Thank you very much. I want to say you have been very kind, and then for those kind words, I thank you again.
No, it's a pleasure.
What art has been doing in Nigeria, unknowingly to so many persons, so many Nigerians also, is that it has actually been at the nip, say the main, nucleus for what has been happening, say economically, to many homes in Nigeria, unknowingly. Unknowingly, in the sense that almost everything you put your hand on, you touch on, being the fabric that you wear, your teacups, everything that is, around you. You sometimes want to look at your curtains in the house. You want to look at the boxes that you use for all of the trinkets there. And even in the very local areas where they make the adudu and the rest of that, sometimes the things that take a woman to her husband's house, all of those preparations there, have all been the whole embodiment of art. The earthenware, the pot that you use in your house, and the ones that you use to drink water. That was how Ladi Kwali became very famous all around the world. Yes. For all of those areas there. Art has been contributing unconsciously to what we call, the sustenance of Nigeria's economy. Be it the leather shoes that you wear and the rest there,
yes,
and the textiles, ashoke,
yes, and
all of that.
Yes.
You see what Ghana is doing with Kente and the rest. So art has been there. But I'm thinking what Nigerians refer to as art is that institutionalized
yes,
one, where they say you went to school, you started painting sculpture, and all of that. But if you now look at the other side to it, they say it is crafts, and crafts for bead making. And bracelets.
The beauty aspect of it.
Yes. But unconsciously, art is also about adornment, body adornment. It's about your hair.
Like lale.
Lale, and there's henna.
Yes.
So you have a lot of those things there. And when you look, you have no other choice than to say, look, let's embrace art. Because art has always been there. Let's look at art and also ensure that art has been responsible, because it's been so much, responsible for all of the things that we know has brought us up. So it's been particularly our own image-making industry. So we know how much people it has employed through the textile firms.
Yes.
And we know how much of designers are employed in places like you go, it's all business centers everywhere. They say they're doing computer graphics. You know, it is art you're talking about.
Yes.
I have not seen any profession in Nigeria that has employed people as much as the art is doing. And then there is a need to see that, look, my own perspective of the arts is that we are the sustainers of this nation called Nigeria. You find that almost 80% of persons are involved in the art, directly, indirectly, and we have been keeping the country moving.
So we can actually say that as a country artist, the air we breathe.
Yes.
Unconsciously. Now, how do we, will you say that the government has actually invested or helped to regulate and develop this sector, this important sector, the way it ought to have been done?
I would say government is somehow ignorant of what it has. I will also say that government has not paid attention to that area where it is supposed to have been putting up its energies and the rest.
Yes.
If you look at government's budgeting, for goodness sake, you hear that it's telling you science and tech. It is telling you sometimes it takes you as far as, say, environmental this, environmental that. It is putting money where it thinks is the happening place all over the world. But when you see developed economies, those developed economies understand that if you have a computer, a laptop, they know that if you have aerospace systems and all of that, they know that they're basically designed aspects. Everything you find in them, you enter laboratories, they're all designed. You're entering anywhere, even your map, your globe and everything, designed. Government is not paying attention. That is why I said the last time, I say, the reason you're not finding a country as beautiful as it should be is because it's not paying the attention, it's not paying attention to art. Art actually, I mean, like, is a born place for architecture.
Okay.
Art is like, actually, say, the mother of, say, what you hear as aerodynamism. The people that actually design those spacecrafts and the rest there. They're into automobile designing, they're into spacecraft designing. It depends on the level that you want to take your own art to. Nigeria's art level is still in, like, say, you go to the school, you study sculpture, you study painting, you do textiles, you do ceramics, and you come back. Nigeria is not ready yet.
We're not ready yet.
Because you must pay particular attention to this aspect where nations must grow through. Why do you think works are so expensive when they say an artwork is selling for $200 million? Why do you think so?
I'm surprised.
You should be.
I'm surprised.
Because you go into, do you know, like, Met Museum in...
the works of Michelangelo and so on and so forth, bought for millions of dollars.
Yes. You go to Met Museum in New York, for instance, and you ask, how much did they even go up in, say, annually? You're talking about $213 or $250 million for one museum.
That's more than budget of of some nations.
But what Nigeria does is that Nigeria is busy fighting, like, let's bring back artifacts, let's bring back artifacts. The creators of those artifacts there that were carted away, what have you even done to encourage them to do more?
Move on.
Or to do something? So we're just not serious about
Have they gotten justice for the work they did and was just taken away from them?
And then even the people that collected it from you almost feel like your people made them by mistake. If not, why haven't you been able to make better ones since then? So sometimes we insult ourselves when the whole energy is about fighting to bring them back.
To get them back.
Instead of fighting to create institutions that will actually do
to develop the sector, develop the people, focus energy on promoting innovation, transformation, so that we can replicate what we have done in better ways.
If you say you're so great, how come you don't have any University of the Arts in Benin even?
Wow.
How come you don't have anything like that? You only discuss about, I mean, you only talk about what Lagos's own idea of what slavery was and how Badagry is and you created like a hub that's like a proper museum. If you enter where they say the museum around the Badagry area there, you feel sorry yes, because other people know that you must develop this historical aspect of your life into generating revenue. How do you generate revenues from them? Agreed, you want to leave the structure the way it is, but you must create things around there where it's pictorial, where you have researched into, where you have asked professors, or you have asked relevant persons that, please duplicate this for us. We went as far as paying for the duplicate of, say, maybe the first head, Queen Idia.
Yes.
How much time have you ever spent to say, look, I'm even putting up a competition. Do something that is like that of Queen Idea. Let's see how Nigerians can work.
Wow.
So what we do every day is like, we know how to talk about art. We know how to talk about all of this. But the actions around it is like for those that actually have the values for it. We're not placing values on it. It's like bringing in, a lot of times you see keke napep all over on the streets. Have you ever thought that, look, these artists, these sculptors, these designers, bring me under the burden of the keke napep. Let's build the bodies here. Anamco has been in like Anambra
motor company.
The only person that is working towards doing anything is probably Innocent.
Yes.
How much have you even said, let's see what creative industry can do in all of this? If you go out and see Motor Fair and the rest and see custom makers and see what people are doing, how foundries are working. The foundry in ABU is probably dead. Nobody is doing anything.
The foundry in the village I was born is saying is dead.
So we're not serious around what we call the things that we have and where we're so very proud of. Okay. But I'm so very happy to tell you that that is the area.
Okay. We will. Okay. Let's dive into the new effort of the new government.
Okay.
To create a standalone ministry for art and the creative economy.
Yes. I think that's a very heavy, say, welcome development, especially in defining that it says Ministry of Art, Culture, and Creative Economy. Now, when you say art now, you know, where you want to place art now, it's not the art with the S now, meaning the performing arts and all of that. No, it means that you have art standing on its own. Culture is supposed to embrace that other one there. And then they have also parastatals that are dealing with that, which is like the National Council for Arts and Culture. Inside that culture area, where you have performances, you have you have music, you have indigenous, sorts of say, traditional cultural traditions of the indigenous peoples of Nigeria.
Yes.
Then when you now talk about art itself now, you know that is the area where you have the National Gallery of Art and its own attendant, say, units there. Especially what you want to say, or why I'm so very happy with it, is that it is telling you that while you're shouting all the time that Benin has been doing this, in Lagos you have this, in Kano, Kaduna, all of these places now. It is a challenge to the main stakeholders. Now there's a ministry, and I'm happy at the last time that the Vice President called for, a stakeholders talk.
The round table.
Yeah, the round table, where also the minister herself, Hannatu Musa, was at. It was such a great event that like minds were there to brainstorm at the round table. And then also very happy to knowing that government is saying that, okay, it is committing so and so into like increasing even the budget to those areas there. But the serious aspect to this is that there must be serious attempt to, like, say, create a roadmap. Because if you don't create that roadmap towards attaining this, and when I say create a roadmap, what am I trying to say? You already have National Festival for Arts and Culture, which is NAFEST.
Yes.
Now you need a proper festival of art itself, or the art festival of Nigeria's people, where you see proper exhibition of, say, maybe you're asking every state bring in what you have. And now you're not saying they bring them, let's see what you have and place them in one place. You're going to take a look at them again, and you will now also do an understudy of that, say again, and say, what levels do we move them to? But the problem we usually have is we want to actually duplicate what has already been
done
in London, in UK, and the rest there. Let's not think that we have to follow in this situation. We must create attempts to lead the argument. So we must be at the top of the whole, say, scenes. We must be seen as moving forward, taking charge at all times, and then create something new. That is what China is doing, by the way. China is able to say, look, besides the things that we know from the West, we are creating this difference so that they have to learn to
catch up with us in this area.
What are we doing for others to catch up? We're still following. So, but I'm hoping that this, because what the National Copyright Commission, Nigeria Copyright Commission has done, was to put enabling laws to protect the artist first, and then to protect the art.
The arts.
Your rights to resale of your works, your intellectual property rights, as far as the artists, the authors, and all of that,
All of
everybody's been taken care
Care
of,
of.
musicians and the rest. And I'm happy that it's been signed into,
To law.
to law. So what it means with the coming of this ministry is that if there is a lot of seriousness from even individuals too,
True.
associations, societies like ours.
Yes.
It means that gallery owners also, and also like studio owners. It means that your limits to doing amazing things is just going to, just about to start, because it will be like a limitless kind of situation.
Thank you very much. You are still listening to the role of arts in promoting sustainable development in Nigeria. And my guest is still Mr. Muhammad Suleiman, the President, Society of Nigerian Artists, and the CEO of Metrics Gallery. So please, we are going on a short break just for a minute. We'll be back. Don't change the dial.
Thinking of where to get the latest information and in-depth analysis on news, events, and trending stories around the Federal Capital Territory? Or do you need a medium to showcase those amazing brands, businesses, and events of yours? Seek no more.
So a beautiful community for a whole lot of tourists themselves.
And we got you covered. Tune in to channel 124 on Startimes at 10 p.m. West African time on Tuesdays and Thursdays to be informed on policies, news, reports, events, and their effects on the Federal Capital Territory. Thinking of where to get the latest information and in-depth analysis on news, events, and trending stories around the Federal Capital Territory? Or do you need a medium to showcase those amazing brands, businesses, and events of yours? Seek no more.
So a beautiful community for a whole lot of tourists themselves.
And we got you covered. Tune in to channel 124 on Startimes at 10 p.m. West African time on Tuesdays and Thursdays to be informed on policies, news, reports, events, and their effects on the Federal Capital Territory. Thinking of where to get the latest information and in-depth analysis on news, events, and trending stories around the Federal Capital Territory? Or do you need a medium to showcase those amazing brands, businesses?
Welcome back to Development Pillars. We are still talking arts and its role to sustainable national development. Mr. Muhammad Suleiman, my guest, is still in the studio. You're welcome back, sir.
Thank you very much.
Before we went on break, we were talking about the new Ministry of Arts, Culture and Creative Economy. The roundtable are taking place. But that's not the kind of first kind of roundtable in Nigeria. We do roundtable upon roundtable upon roundtable, and nothing comes out of it. So what would be your idea to make those issues discussed at the roundtable that can fast track the development of this sector to happen?
One is that I agreed. I think the beautiful thing about the roundtable was that the primary stakeholders were there. I mean, the main stakeholders were there. So
yes.
I was there too, representing the visual arts and other persons. I saw RMD was there. I mean, Alibaba, Patrick Couture, too many people, too many. The movie industry, music industry, everybody we're all there. Now we listened, and then not that everyone was heard, but I think what it meant was like, go back to your drawing table. You have listened to what the government has said. Do a foolproof thing. Make your presentation and say to Nigeria, look, we're helping you also think, because we are the primary persons involved in this. This is where it hurts. This is where you can benefit. This is where we think the profession can be beneficial to the country. Yes. And this is where we think, the aspects that have been ignored in the past. And then you now make the submission. That is when you now blame government after doing. Okay. So, but for all I thought that happened on that day is that a lot of people are still waiting that government is coming to say, okay, we have promised this grant. So this grant is going to come and want to say to you, this is how much you are worth, and this is how much you should take. On the other hand, I think a lot of us think differently. Help government see what roadmap it is that it can use to like get into where you want to actually get to. Now, for us, we have looked at a lot of, say, things. Even those people in the very performing arts, they must think that the ordinary person on the street who thinks that government has no business doing business to come out with things like, say, foster areas for carnivals also, when you're looking at it. But the carnival should be tilted towards what is called cultural traditions main growth level. That is the way it affects the Nigerian directly. Okay. Not copying also as usual, say what people do in Brazil Trinidad and Tobago, which might be alien to Jamaica. Yes, and in Jamaica and the rest there. So we are looking at, say, doing things that are so very culturally relevant to us. But from us, the aspect that is art is that we're even saying, like, for instance, what makes other, what will hit other areas to pick up book boost is, for instance, if you say, look, I have 5 million naira today. Who is it that can create that innovative thing that will filter for the purposes of either having clean water, using art as a, say, modifice for that? I have 5 million naira. We have seen individuals create as far as 100 million for even who wins Big Brother, who wins all of that. Yes. So we're saying 5 million. It's just like a small drop into it. And you say, let's see the person that will create pathway, either what landscape Abuja should look like or what landscape Lagos should look like, artistic. We want to see that. What about monuments? A city without a monument means that it has no DNA recognizing what it is known for. Absolutely. So if you're thinking why people were going to Paris and the rest there, because of Eiffel Tower, some people want to take pictures under it. And these are same people that we go to see their works and we come back, oh, I was in Trafalgar Square, I saw this, I saw that. Oh, Liberty Statue, we saw this, we saw that. I'm not saying we should replicate that. We should even create things that would dazzle the Chinese. But until you begin to give Nigerians the power, the capacity to do those things there, you'll still not get anything done. Challenge the people, propel them. Challenge them, propel them. Because you're not doing that, and you're saying sometimes that you either say that they are lazy or that they cannot do anything when you're not putting the whole machines in the front, in their fronts. Weaponize the whole idea. If not, you still have these kids move from your shores and go to other shores there, and then all of a sudden, boom, he turns out so very heavy. So you have a Nigerian that's so very known for automobile designing in the US, and you brought him here to Nigeria. And since the day he came back, I don't think I've heard anything much from him. I expect that there should have been like a festival of, say, maybe creative designs for automobile and all of that. And his tenure is almost over. I don't know. With due respect, he could be doing a lot, but I'm not hearing so much from the lot that he's doing. We need to deliberately put things into, say, we need to get functional about things. I'm happy about the minister. She sounds very vibrant. She's quite, say, articulate when she speaks. But I'm just also hoping that we get to translate this. It should be beyond the rhetorics on the things that we do as usual. So one of the areas we have problem in Nigeria, Mohammed, is because there's a disconnect between government policies and the citizens. Government is not motivating the citizens to work with them, in that when you write proposals, beautiful proposals to government office, if you don't know somebody in the office, man no man factor, your beautiful proposal is trashed away or copied. And when they copy, they cannot replicate it. How do you think your society, for example, your society as, the union makes us strong. Okay, how do you use the strength of the society, for example, to get all the parastatals under the Ministry of, Arts, Culture, and the Creative Economy to rise up, and work for this country? I want to thank and bring the creativity of Nigerians to life. I want to appreciate what the Nigeria Copyright Commission has done. So I'm telling people, don't be afraid of putting your designs there, your ideas. Just bring them out in the open, but make sure that you also register them. If anybody decides to give to his cousin to copy, what it means for you, you can very well go back home and rest and then count your monies, hopefully. You mean my proposal sent to a ministry is already, I can sue them for copying it? Yeah, you can sue for your own, even if it's just handwritten even sometimes, and then you have to have the full proof that, yes, it emanated from you. So those are protected. Now, for the very lazy persons that just sit in one place for you to bring in proposals and those so they can give to their cousins to bring back to come and do, that is strictly their business. But try and protect your own intellectual property. So, and then more information will keep coming from the NCC. So very soon also to general public. Nigerians have to be aware of that. But like you are saying, like you bring out things and then government disconnect from persons, from the citizens. Or man no man. It has always been like that all over everywhere. So what we encourage people to do is, please make sure that you send in your proposals and back it up. For most of the time they register them as, clearly as can be, and make sure that you do not give up that sometimes that you don't want to do this because somebody is going to like plagiarize or use something else on that.
Let me ask you this question, which I always ask before we close. You are the initiator of Open Mic,
yes, please.
Where you give people opportunity to bring their creativity, to the fore. Now, through initiatives like this, spread across the 36 states of Nigeria, how do you think you can get Nigerians to leverage on their creativity within, in art form, to promote national reorientation?
Very simple. It was in 2004 when I got back from the US that I put up the platform. And by the way, it's not a thing that I originally created. It was something I saw in the US also. So while they pay to get admitted into that in the US, I said for us to like actually do something here for Nigerians. So nobody pays anybody. You don't pay me, I don't pay you. So the microphone is there. We discovered that the Nigerian finds it difficult at all times to like say, do certain things, like his capacity, the confidence to come out and even speak is a problem. You still have distinguished senators and everybody still come to the microphone and doing instead of just going straight to it. So you're building confidence, we're building leadership formats, and then that was supported by the US embassy. But importantly, what we have been doing is that I'm telling people that the government can tell its citizens that, look, to do adire, it only takes hydrosulfide. It takes sodium, chloride, also sodium hydroxide.
Okay.
Bring these people, make these things in such little capacities. You can build over 4,000 persons every month from every state, and Nigeria survives.
Time is never enough for us when we are talking issues like this, and I guess we have to make this program 1 hour, with time. So thank you so much, Muhammad Suleiman, for the time we have spent with you. You will come back because there are so many that I know, so many things I know you have done and you know about that time did not allow to speak about today. So we'll have a part 2 of this. Thank you very much. I believe Nigerians have been educated today. At least we know more about the arts. It's such a broad spectrum that we cannot talk about in 30 minutes, but we'll continue to look at this. We spoke about theater last week, and we have dived into, the area of arts today. We have not even gone into painting and all those things, and how you can actually use all this to develop the country, promote unity, promote sustainable development across board. Thank you so much for listening to us today. We look forward to seeing you at the Development Pillars platform on KAFTAN TV next Friday, same time. God bless you. Be a good Nigerian, and let's make Nigeria work. God bless you.
Thinking of where to get the latest information and in-depth analysis on news, events, and trending stories around the Federal Capital Territory? Or do you need a medium to showcase those amazing brands, businesses, and events of yours? Seek no more.
So a beautiful community for a whole lot of tourists and stuff.
And we got you covered. Tune in to channel 124 on Startimes at 10 p.m. West African time on Tuesdays and Thursdays to be informed on policies, news, reports, events, and their effects on the Federal Capital Territory.